So in news stories that we're not really covering, we need to talk about the Olympic Last Supper.
Yeah, I saw conservatives freaking out about this one. Actually, I saw Cameron specifically freaking out about this one.
Yeah. So that's the quote unquote Last Supper. The first thing I noticed before I even saw the blue guy was like I paused the video and I counted. There's more than 12 disciples here. So that's kind of a hint that maybe this isn't the Last Supper with Jesus and the 12 disciples. And then the blue guy popped out and was like, yeah, I don't remember Smurf Jesus. So maybe this is not the Last Supper. And it turns out it is actually a direct reference to, what's the thing called? It's a painting called The Feast of the Gods, which is a feast of the gods of Olympus with Dionysus front and center. And then when you do a tiny bit more research on it, you know how the Parade of Nations thing that the Olympics does was done on the river on boats this time?
Yeah, where they did the whole everybody freaked out about, oh no, he came on a white horse. That's straight from Revelation.
Oh, the pale horse. I didn't even pay attention to that one. But yeah, no, so
thing.
Yeah, but so they're on the river. The river I'm gonna say it wrong because I've never been sure how to say it, but the River Seine in Paris. So it turns out in mythology, Dionysus was the father of the goddess of the River Seine. So, like, makes perfect sense that Dionysus would be front and center in the Feast of the Gods of Olympus, taking place on the River Seine, where Dionysus is the father of the goddess, and she made an appearance later on in the show as well. So, Hellbound Hillbilly says they're freaking out about Green Day now. I think I've got a tweet for that.
Oh, yeah, the Trump head thing.
So that's funny. But yeah, so it's just it's the Christian persecution complex. I saw a thing that looked vaguely like a famous painting painted by a almost certainly closeted gay painter who I don't know this for sure, but I feel like I briefly looked for it, but everything searching for Da Vinci right now is the SEO all goes directly to Olympic shit.
Of course.
But like I seem to recall that Da Vinci didn't he wasn't particularly fond of the church. And like not the Dan Brown thing where like he was hiding secret Illuminati messages or whatever in his paintings, but like
the Da Vinci Code
yeah,
stuff.
but like he painted like basically what's the one where they gender swap people? 63?
63.
Yeah, he basically did like a Rule 63 Paul. And like if you look at the Last Supper painting, there's a couple of the disciples are very effeminate. So like I don't know. He wasn't the most reverent of parishioners.
No, he definitely it's very weird how much Christians have grafted onto that painting. Like the Last Supper is obviously like it's a huge thing, but it is not as a painting. It is not a central part of Christianity.
No,
it's not like a Shroud of Turin type thing.
And it's been parodied so many times by so many properties. So like what's one more parody? Like the idea that they would freak out about this because it's drag queens, but they wouldn't freak out about the Star Wars one where Luke is Jesus.
No, there's a friend of mine who's an Orthodox Christian, and she's just been looking at all of this and just going, wow, y'all are really sensitive, aren't you? I feel like my religion's a little stronger than whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a joke. Like I don't. Scott Dillahunt says 50 Quatloos says the Simpsons have done it more than once. I will not be taking that bet because I can pretty much guarantee that they have. Or the Simpsons or South Park or Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Just everything.
Everybody has parodied the Last Supper. It is one of the most parodied paintings in the world. So, yeah, the fact that they're freaking out about this one time just kind of shows that, like, it's not about parodying the painting. It's about they don't like drag and they're bigots against that. And what's really funny is like somebody posted, I think it was the Christian Nightmares account on Twitter. They posted a picture of some guy that was wearing like an American flag shirt that had like crucified himself on a phone pole. and this was like he posted that right in the middle of all them freaking out about the Last Supper or whatever. So like I retweeted that and was like, if this guy was wearing something that was a little bit closer to what Jesus would have actually worn when he was alive, the Christians would have latched onto this and called it sacrilegious and bigotry against them and persecution because it's a guy in a dress making fun of Christianity. So like they're just, it's so pathetic.
Just I think the only reason they're freaking out about it isn't because of any actual reverence for Christianity. That's the veneer, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the mask, and it is literally just, it was drag queens.
Yeah.
And that's what they're supposed to be angry about.
They always need to, well, it's not that that is specifically what they're supposed to be angry about. It's that they're always supposed to be angry about something.
And this is the current thing.
This is the current thing. And I saw one person like, there's the guy in black with his chest out, just to the left of blue guy. If you look down at his leg, there's like a little flesh-colored lump in there. Someone actually zoomed in on it. Was this exact picture. They zoomed in on it, and it's just a pixelated mess that you can't even tell what it is. But they like circled it and pointed an arrow to it and was like, see, this is proof that there was pedophilia at the Olympics because this guy has his testicles out.
What?
And it's like, okay, well, first off, we don't know that those are his testicles. It might just be a lump of something that has
like, proof there was pedophilia.
Like, I don't know.
On those
It's
set of
a pixelated. It's a pixelated thing that color kind of matches his flesh a little bit. It could be anything. It could just be his hand or something. I don't know.
Even if it is his testicles, right? Even if it is his testicles, how do you make the jump between my balls fell out of my outfit, therefore pedophilia. Therefore pedophilia was there. Like how do you go from the one to the other? It's like you've seen Bo Rat, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, there's a scene in Bo Rat where a guy's testicles are out.
Are you calling it Bo Rat?
Or Bo Rat? I don't care.
This is proof that you're from Georgia. The accent's showing through. It's Bo Rat.
Bo Rat. But there's a scene there where that happens, okay? And because it's an R-rated comedy. Do you know how many R-rated comedies have a moment where somebody's just full front exposed? Almost always it's a guy.
Life of Brian.
Yeah, like it's a very common thing in there. If this is proof that pedophilia happened at the Olympics, then this is also proof that pedophilia happened at every R-rated Hollywood screening ever. Which I know there are conspiracy theorists that are going to go, well, of course there's pedophilia in the Jewish Hollywood. Like,
God.
Look, I was out.
I notice you're more free with saying things like that when your stream's not the one gonna.
I said it when we were both on stream last time.
I know.
But no, also I think it's very reasonable to accurately parody these people.
People in the chat are saying it's just a ripped stocking. It's like, yeah, I can see that. But it's so hard to make out. It's so small and so pixelated when you zoom in that like I'm not willing to say that it's that for sure either. Maybe his balls did fall out. Doesn't make him a pedophile, just means his balls fell out.
These people will find reasons to be apprehensive towards anything and everything, so long as they can connect it to one of the things that they are currently angry about. If depending on how down the rabbit hole they are, it's Jewish people. Depending on where they are, it's people in drag or trans people. Not that they can tell the difference between those two anyway.
Everybody was complaining about the transness at the Olympics, and like, no, this is drag, not trans.
If this was the 50s, then it would be complaining about the black people. Oh, wait, sorry. It's 2024. We have a new word for that. It's DEI. They do that too. It just...
Did you see the Jon Stewart thing where they were where he had a black correspondent in the field to talk about the attacks that are being leveled against Kamala Harris, and he's like, oh, I got a list of them. Like they say here, she's black. She's DI hire. She's black. And it like goes through and there's like all these different like dog whistles for black, and you just throw she's black in there. And the best part was like when that segment was over, he ended it with just like looking into the camera being black to you, John. It was like just deadpan delivery. It was like, oh, perfect. Mwah.
Every Twitter post about the DEI thing, almost every one of them, there is somebody in the comments or the original poster themselves is just saying, look, we understand you are that desperate to say the N-word, and you're just using DEI as a way to not say it while also saying it. And I very much agree at that point. The DEI hire thing, it's just meant to be black. Because if you think about it, during Obama's presidency, Biden was the DEI hire technically, because he was literally there so that you could have the old white guy to balance out the ticket of the younger black guy. That was the point. The point was not how good he would be on certain policies. Eventually, we found that he was actually very progressive on those policies, but the point was not that. The point was not to get that person. The point was to get the ticket to look more moderate. That's definitionally a DEI hire. That's all it is. Yeah. It's diversity.
That's what the VP inclusion. Pick is all the time. It's who can I pick that is going to appeal to the opposite base of me so that I now have a wider appeal because my VP appeals to people that I don't. Like that's what they always do. Donald Trump doesn't appeal to people that fuck couches. JD Vance does.
Or looks at, what was the other two things? Something about dolphins and something about like burnt monkey something.
I didn't see the burnt monkey something, but I am aware of the dolphins.
It's everything. There's a scene in The Boys, because in the show The Boys, there's a character called the Deep who's basically the Aquaman equivalent, but I mean he's Aquaman, but also a rapist who falls into the Scientology cult. He's very, very. The Boys is an interesting show. It is all just making fun of conservatives and going like, here are your heroes. Here are the people that you like. You like this person who's basically Trump if he had superpowers. But there's a scene in The Boys where the Deep is going, and instead of like fighting an actual monster that everybody else is supposed to be fighting, he just goes and like finds a dolphin and rescues it. Not because he wants to save it, because he's a good-hearted person who loves marine life. He does it because the dolphin communicated to him that it wanted to fuck him. And so there's a picture of that scene that's just like JD Vance on his way to the hotel.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. So that's enough of these guys freaking out about Dionysus.
Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fire Shard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.